Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. So we're starting our morning light program for the last 10 nights of Ramadan, inshallah. So today I just want to talk a little bit about Laylatul Qadr, right, which we all know is coming up in the last 10 nights, may have been last night. So, power means a lot of things to a lot of people, right? So it can mean being the president of the United States, for example, and having a lot of power. Or for some people, it may be working out at the gym and having big biceps, really, really getting buff. For some people, it may be having a really fancy car, right? But for us, when we think of power, especially during these last 10 nights, we're probably thinking of something different, right? We're probably thinking of Laylatul Qadr, the night of power, it's often called, or sometimes the night of decree. And in Islam, we can do worship almost anywhere and almost any time, right? There are some exceptions. We can't pray in a bathroom, for example, except in some cases like extreme necessity, or we can't pray like right before Dhuhr, right? Except in some cases of necessity or something. But in general, we can pray anytime and anywhere. But some places and sometimes have more of a benefit. For example, if you pray in the Prophet's Masjid, or you pray in the Haram, each prayer counts for a lot more, right? Even though you can pray anywhere, that prayer counts a lot more. And same with Laylatul Qadr, right? When you pray during Laylatul Qadr, or you read Quran, or you do dhikr, all those actions can count for a lot more. So Ramadan is really a time for us to increase our ibadah and to take advantage of these blessings. And we started very strong, right? We see the masjid full doing Tarawih on the first night and the second night, maybe the first week. And we started reading a lot of Quran. And then we started dipping maybe in the middle stages. It's a little bit harder to get up and come to Fajr, a little harder to really do what we need to do. And then at the end, all of a sudden we get this burst of energy and we try and end strong. And that's really where we are right now. So the Prophet ﷺ, Aisha radiallahu anha, she said that he used to really pray with more vigor in the last 10 nights. And he used to stay awake at night for prayer and even wake up his family to pray. And he also used to do itikaf during the last 10 nights and 10 days. So may Allah bless all of those who are doing itikaf and allow all of us who aren't able to do so next year. So it's during these last 10 nights that this night, as we all know, Laylatul Qadr falls. So what exactly is Qadr? So the scholars define it in a few different ways. So this is the night where destiny is decided. This destiny is decided. So some scholars kind of talk about it in that context of being destiny. And it's when our lifespan, our sustenance, the good and the evil, all of that affects us during our life is kind of decreed during this time. Others interpret Qadr as being power, which indicates how great and how amazing this night really is. And how multiplied all of our acts of worship are during this night. And Ibn Uthaymeen, he even said one doesn't even need to know about Laylatul Qadr to reap its benefits. So if someone just didn't even know this night existed and prayed the last 10 nights and got up and did the Hajj just out of their love for Allah or whatever it is, they could still attain all this great benefit. Because the Prophet ﷺ, he didn't make the knowledge of this night a condition for reaping its benefits. And another meaning is restriction. And so what does that mean, night of restriction? And scholars have said that it's because the angels are so numerous during this night and they all descend that the earth itself literally becomes smaller because of all the angels. And the Prophet ﷺ, he said that truly the angels on this night are as numerous as the pebbles on the earth. So you can imagine how many pebbles there are all over the earth, right, all over the dunya. And you can imagine all the angels, more than that maybe even, all in the sky. And it makes the stars in the sky seem paltry in comparison to what that must look like. So when exactly is Laylatul Qadr? So the Prophet ﷺ, he said, as many of us know, search for Laylatul Qadr in the odd nights of the last 10 nights of Ramadan. Right? So there's certainly a wisdom behind this. So if we knew Laylatul Qadr was tonight, for example, we'd probably sleep in the day a little bit, maybe take off from work and stay up all night and do so many acts of worship. But since we don't know, right, we try and strive every night during these last 10 nights. So Brother Shakil Humayun, well, many of us know, he posted an article recently talking about, which nights are the odd nights. And it's something I actually learned, I didn't know before, but we think yesterday was the 21st night, right? So that would be an odd night for sure, and 23rd night, so today we may have a little bit of an off day. But it actually depends on how many days are in Ramadan. So if there's 29 days in Ramadan, then yes, the 21st, 23rd, 25th, 27th, all of those are the odd nights. But if there's 30 days in Ramadan, then it's actually the 22nd, so tonight might be an odd night. Even though the date is even, the night itself is odd. And that's because the Prophet ﷺ, he said, for the ninth that remains, for the seventh that remains, for the fifth that remains, and for the third that remains. So it's something that surprised me. And it took me a little while to kind of understand what he was saying, but he has like a chart and everything and explained it, so it does make sense. But the bottom line is that we don't know until the end of the month, right, when we see the moon, whether Ramadan was 29 days or 30 days. So that means that yesterday could have been an odd night or tonight. So we have to take every single night in these last 10 nights as if it may be Laylatul Qadr. And that's really the bottom line, right, because we really don't know. So from the blessings of this night is that this night is better than 1,000 months. So Prophet Noah, right, he lived for centuries, right, giving dawah to his people and worshiping Allah. And that's something we can never accomplish because, if we're fortunate Allah blesses us, we maybe live 83 years, maybe 100. Some people maybe live like 105. But, we don't live like 900 years anymore. But if we catch even just a few of these Laylatul Qadrs, that really starts adding up, 80 years plus 80 plus 80, and you can reach, based on how long we live, more than 1,000 years of worship, if we can capture this night every year. So it's one of the blessings that Allah has really given us. Another blessing from this month is that the Quran was revealed during this night. And Ibn Abbas, he said that on this night, the Quran was actually revealed in its entirety, and it was placed in Baytul Izzah, the House of Honor, and then it was revealed to the Prophet ﷺ over 23 years. So the Quran in its entirety was revealed during this night. Finally, we need to really try and seek the reward of this night. So we have to try and avoid sins always during Ramadan and outside of Ramadan, but especially during this night. So no TV, no video games, no music, no idle talk. You shouldn't be socializing about stuff that doesn't matter. And that could be anything, socializing about, the latest movie coming out, socializing about Donald Trump's latest tweet, whatever it is. We shouldn't be wasting time on this stuff. We should be really focusing on doing ibadah and, maybe talking with our family, but maybe talking about stuff that's beneficial, right? Something about the deen. And if we really strive to spend this night in worship and obedience, the prize that awaits us is forgiveness for all of our previous sins. So we should always have that intention every night when Maghrib starts, that we're going to intend to really use this night and maximize it in worship. So inshallah, even if we strive really hard, we fall asleep, at least we had that intention. And we try to do as much as we can, because many of us are working or going to school, so it's tough to stay the whole night and then go to work the next day, but at least we can maximize as much as we can. And one guideline we have in terms of how much we can actually, or how to actually use this time is Surah Al-Alaq, which includes the first verses that were revealed. So the first verse that was revealed was Iqra, right? Read. And then later on in the surah, at the very end actually, we are told to do sujood, right? So that kind of gives an idea of what we can do during this night. So we can start off by reading a lot of the Quran. We can make sujood by praying to Allah. We make a lot of dua, and these are what our pious predecessors have done. All of them, and doing a combination of that during the night. And they're all, very worthwhile acts that we can all gain benefit from. So I just want to mention, before we end, just two main things that we can definitely keep in mind going forward, inshallah, for this night. So from the blessings of this night is that we can seek Allah's forgiveness during this night. On every night, of course, but especially during this night. So we have an amazing dua to say. So Aisha radiallahu anha, she asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam what we should say during this blessed night, and he told her, Allahumma innaka afuun kareem tuhibbu afu fa'fu anni. So, oh Allah, you are the most forgiving and you love to forgive, so forgive me. So this is the dua that we should always be saying during this night, right? Asking Allah for His forgiveness. The Prophet also, he also said that whoever attends Isha prayer in congregation, then he has the reward of standing half the night in prayer. And whoever prays Isha and Fajr in congregation, then he has the reward of spending the entire night in prayer. So if we're able to pray Isha and Fajr in the masjid, right, that's a complete night of prayer on Laylatul Qadr. And that's, times 1,000. So that's 1,000 nights of just standing in prayer continuously, right? So it's really amazing to imagine. It's like, 70, 80 years of just constant prayer. So, and that's something we can all do, right? Many of us come for Tarawih, and, then we're up anyway for Suhoor, so we have to eat before fasting the whole day. So we might as well just come for Fajr and just gain that reward. And, some scholars say that that's enough to even just capture the night, just doing those two things. Finally, an interesting fact. So the Prophet ﷺ, he said to his companions that I came to inform you of the specific night of Laylatul Qadr, but I found so-and-so arguing, and then in the presence of mediating this conflict, he had the knowledge of the night lifted from him. So the Prophet ﷺ, that's a lesson for us because he knew which night this actually was. And if he knew, he could have told us, oh, it's always going to be the 25th night, and that would have been that. But, because of this argument that happened, not with him, but to other people, this was lifted from him. So it's a lesson for us as well not to argue, not to pick fights during this night, even if it's something like minor with our friend or our wife or our children. we should really try to not have any grievances, just, you know, have a nice sound heart during this night so we can focus on worshiping Allah, and that's what's most important. So may Allah make this a reminder to myself first and foremost, and may He bless all the Muslims around the world and allow us all to capture this night and really reap all of its benefits. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Hierarchy